All right, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about the Sith Eternal versus Leia battle. I've gotten a little more experience doing this. When I was recording this originally, I knew a lot less than I do now. And this counter is very reliable if you know what you're doing and if you're facing the right comps. Some comps don't work, but those are comps you almost only see in Squad Arena because they all involve Captain Rex. He's the worst. But before we even go into that, let me just tell you a little bit more about the strategy and why everything works. All right, so we are in the squad builder, and these are the two teams you'll be using, the two variations. There's not really much else wiggle room here. Generally, the bottom one with Geobrute Alpha is the best one to run. You want to be doing this one. But the thing is, in Territory Wars, if you have the Pogglekron and they make you put that on defense, then you won't be able to use this. So Sith Empire Trooper is a really good substitute, and almost all the time he works just as fine. But with the really dangerous Leia lineups, you'll need Geobrute Alpha and a little bit of RNG. But I'll explain all of that later. For the modding, really quick, there's some characters you don't need to mod super specifically. But for 3 characters, you do, and that is Sith Eternal, Armor, and Thrawn. So for Sith Eternal, the main thing is you want to outrun Leia. And that may seem really difficult because, you know, Leia's a very fast GL, and she's usually modded for speed and health. And with Sith Eternal, generally you want to mod him to be beefy. If you don't have Bane. If you have Bane, you want him for damage. But I actually find this comp a little more consistent than C Bane, because a lot of the time I'll mess with C Bane in Squad Arena against Leias and I'll lose, which is pretty interesting. But whatever. As you can see here, I'm going almost all in on health, but I also have really fast mods. The modding is steep because I also have all health. You really want health on this guy, but I promise you it is so worth it. Because, I mean, this counter works so incredibly well. So you want him to be fast, but you want him to be beefy too. Now, you may be looking at the speed and be like, Riley, this is not gonna outrun a Leia. Because, like, okay, let's go in Squad Arena. Just to see the Leia that we're gonna be fighting, which I think it's this one. Let's look at this Leia. 548, already outrunning. And the modding is not even like S+ tier. It can be even worse. It's like, how are you gonna outrun it? And I'll show you in the kit and also in the battle. But before I go into that, let's continue the mods. Geobrute Alpha doesn't need anything special. Honestly, you kind of want to keep him at Relic 3, and I'll show you why, because it actually makes Leia more consistent if you have him kind of weak. So we're keeping him squishy. He has no special mods. These are Wat Tambor's mods, and also, again, nothing special. He's not that fast. The mods, again, they're pretty not great, but you don't need him to be fast. People think you need a fast Wat Tambor, and that just is not true. The only time you want a really fast Wat Tambor is if you're doing a counter that specifically requires him to get two tech pieces out, which is almost never necessary. It's usually just one. This is where the modding gets important. You want your armor to be pretty fast, but you want her to be 1 speed faster than Thrawn, or I guess 21 speed faster. You gotta remember, Grand Admiral Thrawn gets plus 20 speed through Sith Eternal's lead, so he's actually 332 speed, which is 1 speed slower than armor. And the reason for this is to basically, almost guarantee that you'll get the armor stacks on Sith Eternal. With Leia, there's a couple comps that can make this dicey, and I'll show you them in this video. I'll show a lot of battles. That's the modding. I would really recommend you take your Sith Eternal to Relic 8. He really wants to be survivable. I may take him to Relic 9 eventually, just because I need this guy to survive. There is some battles where he gets so close to winning and then dies. It's really rare, but sometimes it happens. So if you get him to Relic 9, your win rate is gonna skyrocket compared to like a Relic 7, but Relic 8's also really good. Let's go to how we're gonna outrun Leia, and when we get into the battle, I'll tell you why it's so important that we outrun Leia. But basically, where is it? Yeah, right here. This clause is what will let us win these battles. At the start of each encounter, whenever an enemy gains a buff that can't be dispelled, Sith allies gain 5% turn meter. Now, normally if you're doing C Bane, unless you're in Grand Arena where Bane gets his bonus turn, this does not help at all, because it's just There's no turn meter preloading. There's nothing like that. Nothing fancy. But there are 2 undispellable buffs that Leia gets, the team gets at the start of the encounter, and that is Drogan's Keen Stratagem and Leia's Fearless. So this will give him 10% turn meter, which may not sound like a lot, but that's a lot of speed. That's a lot of bonus speed. So in Grand Arena, if you have Bane with the Omicron, then yeah, this will help you outrun her and it'll be fine, but Bane is expensive. But what other character gains a bonus turn? That's right, it's your boy Wat Tambor. He'll gain a bonus turn, and then you can apply the tech, but because he takes that bonus turn, Sith Eternal gains some turn meter, and then he will almost always outrun Leia. And the reason you want to outrun Leia is because if Leia goes first, she will put Drogan under stealth, which means that he will crit, and he will just kill everybody. So you need Sith Eternal to go first, so you can link Drogan, and preferably R2, but a lot of the time that doesn't line up very well. So usually you want to do Drogan and some other important 4th or 5th. And because he can't crit, all the damage is gone, and you basically you kind of just hit ult, kill them, and then win. I know a lot of you guys that may be watching are gonna be like, "Oh man, this is stupid." Look at the statistics. Sith Eternal doesn't beat Leia unless you have Bane, but no. You don't need Bane. Save your Bane for Queen Amidala, dude. This is the bread and butter right here. This is so much better. All right, I've talked a lot of stuff. Generally speaking, comps you want to avoid. Specifically, the worst one is Captain Rex and 3POC in the 4th and 5th. This one's still kind of bad, and I'll tell you why this is not great. Generally, if Captain Rex is in there, I would be very cautious using Sith Eternal, but you still can win. This is their Datacron. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. This is our Datacron. You kind of want, if the Boltcron isn't a thing, try and get as much health as possible, because again, you want Sith Eternal to survive. And let's get into this battle. We may lose, but that's just because Captain Rex is there. If he's not there, it's almost a guaranteed win. All right, so Wat Tambor take his bonus turn. Look at that, Sith Eternal. He has some bonus turn meter. Now, normally in a Sith Eternal battle with Wat Tambor, you're gonna want to put the shield generator on. You're gonna want to put the shield generator on him, but you don't want to do that. You want to put the med pack on, because if they get the ambushed on you, you lose all your protection and you have no regen. So we're gonna mark Drogan and Captain Rex first, and that way Drogan cannot crit. He cannot crit when he's linked. So Leia is gonna do her AoE, and the reason Geobrood Alpha is so important compared to Sith Empire Trooper is because Sith Empire Trooper will not get below 50% health like the Brute will. So now armor has 3 stacks already. So now Captain Rex is not an issue. And this is why he can be an issue. Normally, let's say armor did not get those 3 stacks. She would have to use her second special and then get that armor, and then Thrawn will pass a turn to her, and then she'll apply the armor to Sith Eternal, but she's dazed because of Captain Rex. So she would not get the 3 stacks immediately. So, but that's not a problem because we used Geobrood Alpha, so it's fine. Pass the 3 stacks. Thrawn doesn't matter anymore. Let's just, I don't know, cleanse Sith Eternal. And they're gonna do their stuff. My throat. I can't help but clear it for some reason. And I guess, I don't know, spell buffs, doesn't really matter. We're gonna let them do their thing as Sith Eternal is ramping ult charge. And you're gonna notice, at this point, it's pretty much a guaranteed win. If you get the 3 stacks of armor, the only times where you may lose, oh, this is great, by the way. The only times you may lose is if 3PO and Chewie's in there, because the damage might just be too much. Look at that, Drogan and R2 linked. That is best case scenario. You want to get those 2 out first as soon as possible. But remember, do not use your linked ability if Drogan is stealth, because then you cannot link him and then he'll crit and kill everyone. So we're gonna go into ults, and they're gonna do their stuff. They're not gonna be able to do much because they cannot crit at all now because Sith Eternal has the armor. Boom, they're dead. Super easy. We're gonna link Old Ben and Captain Rex. And yeah, this is, at this point, you can't lose. You've won. You've won the battle. It may take some time though. I did a lot of talking, so hopefully we have time to win. 2 minutes should be fine. I mean, but it's a little bit of a slow burn with Leia, but with the shock, she can't really regen, unless she hits her ult, which she probably will, but again, you've won. You've won. We're just gonna put this on auto now. And I'll just fast forward and you guys can see the win. And we've won. As you can see, the time got a little bit close there, but that's just because I was talking a lot. Normally it doesn't get that close. Now, this does work in Grand Arena with the Drogan Omicron. It really doesn't change anything, which I will show you in a second. But another thing I want to say is in 3v3, this still works, and you only need Wat Tambor Sith Empire Trooper. Now, I actually find this to be easier than 5v5 because there's no weird comps. Like, it's always just Drogan and R2. And the thing is, when Drogan and R2 are both stealthed, when Leia takes a turn, if you link Leia, you get to target any stealth unit, which will be Drogan. So, Drogan still can't crit when he's linked, even if you don't have the 3 stacks of armor. So, this comp works in 3v3. So just remember that. This is what I use, and then I can save SOKR for armor and Jubrid Alpha, but I guess that's not going to be a problem now. Just saving those because, you know, Darkside Ray's coming out in 2 days. But yeah, actually, I wonder, I mean, for Leia, I will probably still use this comp because it's just so consistent. But maybe armor and Jubrid Alpha would be better. I don't know, but that is one battle. I will show you a bunch more, including one Grand Arena battle, which will probably be the next one. But yeah, so this usually almost always works, but sometimes the comp can mess you up, and I will show a battle where I lose. Okay, in this match, this is a Grand Arena match, and these are the mods. Very fast, but I think we should still outrun her. I know he doesn't look faster, but with the turn meter, he should be fine. She normally doesn't ever outrun my sister. Oh, okay. Not great mods, but there is the Fulcrum Cron, and there is Old Ben, so that might be an issue. We're gonna see though, just to show you, because generally this does work, and I'm confident enough that I'm gonna be using it in my Grand Arena match, but sometimes it doesn't work out as well as I would want it to. So yeah, we're gonna be trying this, and hopefully it's not that bad. All right, we passed the med pack over the Sith Eternal. Okay. Yep. Okay, and we get the turn. We are going to be giving the link to Drogan and Fulcrum so that she does not crit us to hell. Because we want our armor to survive. Hopefully she gets her turn. I think she will, unless R2 stuns her, which I don't. Okay, we're good. Okay, this should be a win. I don't see us losing this. Sometimes Old Ben or Krex can mess things up, and then they'll either like daze her so she can't get the 3 stacks, and it's kind of a mess, or ability block, but we're fine. I think we're good. So we're gonna go into ultimate, and pretty soon all of the firepower is on their team is about to go bye-bye. And goodbye. All right, let's get another guy in here. Why not? Let's link R2 and Old Ben, and we're just gonna do auto basic until we can use our ults. But sometimes you don't want to use the link ability when like R2 is like stealth like this, but he's stealth a lot of the time, and I mean, it's not at this point you've already won. Oh well, okay, I guess Old Ben's gonna die anyway. It doesn't really matter. Okay, well, he's back. It's fine, he's gone. And now we just kind of I'll just speed it up. I mean, it's pretty basic from here. Too easy. Too easy. That's how you do it. Again, that was kind of a scary comp, and you know, it did get a little scary, but generally this is a really cheap way to beat this team and something that I do a lot. So I'll still show some other battles, but that was also, I just want to show off the Omicron, that it really doesn't change anything. Yeah, this feels, it's very consistent. I think the key is really just modding Sith Eternal to be really freaking fast. Like, again, I could have gone healthier, but I just went speed. The rest is health, and, you know, very fast mods. But honestly, it is worth it, because when you have stuff like this, you can beat almost everything. Like, literally almost everything. It is stupidly good. Okay, so this was going to be my intro video, but I didn't go into depth enough, so I just retook it. So I don't really explain what's going on here very well, but basically this is the most dangerous comp. Do not do this. If you see this, you can still win, but there's a lot that goes into it. I do lose in this one. I almost win, but I do lose, and there's a couple things that go into this. One thing you haven't really seen so far is what happens when you get the ambush. And if you guys don't know, the ambush mechanic is Leia can inflict that on you on her ultimate and her first special, and what happens is it inflicts a stack of like ambush, and then if you get hit again, you get another stack, and then once you get 6, you just permanently lose all of your protection, and it doesn't go away. The debuff expires after your turn is over, so normally you'll get a couple stacks and the Sith Eternal takes a turn, then it's gone. But the thing is, with Captain Rex, his basic does 2 instances of damage, and 3POC is assisting constantly, so that's not only added damage, but it's basically almost a guaranteed chance to get the ambush on. And when you get ambushed, your chances of winning are significantly lower. They're not impossible. Most of the time you still win, because Watt's health tech thing still comes in clutch. But the thing is, when there's 3POC, the damage, it's too much. It's too much. So if I think I linked Captain Rex in this battle, but I probably should have done Drogan and 3POC. So I don't know, but I do lose. So here's the battle. Okay, so Watt goes first, and Fearless and Keen Stratagem, they're both undispellable buffs. So Sith Eternal actually gains 10% turn meter here. So we're gonna give him the med pack, not the shield generator thing, because I'll show you in a second. So Sith Eternal goes first. You're gonna want to link Drogan, and we'll do 3PO and Chewie, and that way they can't do any crits. This is very important. It does look like, yeah, okay, Krex is gonna go before. Having Jubert Alpha here is what makes this a lot. Okay, hopefully Armor can get a turn in. We'll see. Okay, so normally, if you did Sith Empire Trooper, he would not have gotten to low enough health for Armor to get 3 stacks, and she didn't actually get dazed, so I guess it wouldn't matter, because then we could use this ability. But now, we can just directly give the armor to Sith Eternal, and then let's say she didn't get it, so she had to use her second special, and then get that 3rd stack of armor. Thrawn could pass the turn to armor and give it, but that was not needed here, so let's just pass the turn to Sith Eternal, and we're kind of, I spent a lot of time explaining things, so we're gonna let them do their stuff. People are gonna die, it's gonna be fine. We're probably gonna win this now. The chances of us losing is very low, because Sith Eternal now has a 3 stacks of armor. Him dying is probably not gonna happen. Okay, this is why you want this tech, because if we had the tank tech, then he would have just not regenerated anything because he doesn't have protection. So Drogan does no damage because no crits. And let's say goodbye to all the damage on the Leia team after this. As you can see, it's actually getting very close. This comp specifically sucks, but I promise the other ones are not as scary. Oh, we actually might die here. Okay, let's hope we regenerate some health. Oh, this is a little too close for comfort. Looks like we're gonna be okay, I think. Oh my gosh, this is actually like, yeah, okay. Against Captain Rex and 3PO and Chewie, you don't normally want to use Sith Eternal, but I think we're okay. Oh, okay, no, we're not. Okay, but that only happened because the initial comp there was just too much damage. And there was also the chance that he could lose his health. So I did say we'd probably lose, but now I'm going to show you a bunch of other battles where we win and it's not even close. All right, we are in Squad Arena, and 3PO and Chewie can honestly really mess things up. This is the Datacron they're rolling with. Sometimes he's not a huge deal, and sometimes he just ruins everything. So I just want to show you guys what he can do. I don't know if I'm gonna win or lose. Honestly, I'm pretty on the edge about it, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So again, so the Eternal goes first. We're gonna link Drogan and 3PO and Chewie so that 3PO and Chewie cannot crit us. That's the main thing, because he still might. Who knows? All right, and armor is going to pass 3 stacks to Sith Eternal. Actually, you know, I probably should have done Sith Empire Troopers of Geobrood Alpha, because a lot of people need that for territory war defense. So I'll probably swap him for Sith Empire Trooper, but generally Geobrood Alpha does better. Just because when Leia does her AoE, it usually takes the brute low enough to where armor can get 3 stacks. Sith Empire Troopers, that almost never happens, so armor will need to like manually get 3 stacks, and then Thrawn passes the turn. So far Thrawn has not been super useful. Okay, so this is actually still a win. This is still a win. I think it's when it's like a combination of Captain Rex and 3PO and Chewie where it can get kind of messy, but again, this is looking like a solid win. Let's mark the droids. And let's just hone in on Leia. And goodbye. Yeah, so that is yeah, that's another one. I was kind of surprised we won. I guess it really is Captain Rex that just makes everything miserable. So I'll see if I can find a comp like that in Squad Arena, and then I'll show you guys how that works. Next, I want to show that this actually does work against Ahsoka. I'm pretty sure that this will work. I have not had the chance to test it against triple Omicron Ezra in Grand Arena. This does not work in Territory Wars. I tried it. It does not work. And this isn't the optimal level 9. This isn't the optimal Datacron in general. But I know without the Datacrons, I can do this pretty reliably. So I think this does work in Grand Arena. But I'm not totally sure. But if you want to do a cheap counter, this is probably the way to do it. We're actually going to do the shield generator this time because there's no like health evasion. We're gonna put the linked on we're gonna put it on Ezra so that he loses protection, because he's gonna prevent any insta kills, and we need to get him out just ASAP. So they're gonna do their stuff. Sorry, I blinked out. We're just gonna let them do their thing. Nothing should get in the way. Okay, so I don't think I've even showed it with the Leia battles, because armor almost always gets the 3 stacks, but sometimes it doesn't happen. The reason Thrawn's so great is because she'll get her 3 stacks, and then instant turn, pass, boom. Okay, so we want to kind of go through this kind of quick, but sometimes this can take a while. I guess give that to Thrawn. She's gonna do her ult. It doesn't do that much. I'm sure it does, but it doesn't look like it or feel like it. I guess also because they can't crit. All their damage is in crits. So because they can't crit Sith Eternal, then yeah, we're good. We're good. They can just keep doing their thing. We'll keep ramping in our ult, and eventually, yeah, Sith Eternal is about to get his ultimate ability. Also, I guess I should say, it's not going to be a high banner win. It never is with this guy, but unless you're doing Bane, which I guess is a good upside. Okay, and we're not going to use our ult because I want to kill Ezra. Actually, we'll just kill him, please. Okay, we're good. We're good. Now we can do Link, and we're gonna Link so actually, I should say, I've done this in 3v3 before and I won. But I can't remember if Ezra was in there or not. I don't think he was. I don't know, but he doesn't change that much. I don't think his omicrons will like make a big difference. So we're going to just gonna wait until he can hit his ultimate again. Well, I was about to say, should I hit auto? But no, he just got his ult, I guess. And now it's just Ahsoka. We'll put it on auto. Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's not that bad. The chance I get to do this, I will try this in Grand Arena. And if you check the comments, I'll say if he wins or not, and if it changes anything. So just, you know, if you want to see if this works, just go to the comments every now and then. Just see if I find it. I've still have not found one. A lot of people keep their Ahsoka on offense if I see them in Grand Arena. So I'll show a Jedi Master Kenobi battle just to show you that it's so easy with him. I like full relic 9, like it doesn't matter. I know I showed you all the Leia stuff, but here's a bonus battle, just a JMK. I know this is like, people already know how to do this, but I do want to just show you guys how insanely okay, that offense, that's a weird mod set. I'll show you guys how easy it is to beat a JMK team with this. I'm sure it's probably easy with other Sith Eternal stuff, but this, I mean, this counter is brain dead. It is a 1,000,000% win rate. Leia, there are some comps that make it kind of hard, but this, it's just you win. So I'm gonna show you guys right now how to do that. I mean, just in case you want to see. Again, we're gonna be using the med pack because when JMK hits ultimate, he ignores protection. So again, protection's not very helpful. So we're gonna put linked on Kenobi and Cat. They're gonna be doing their stuff. Give the armor to Sith Eternal. Honestly, even if you for some reason don't get the armor on Sith Eternal, I think you still just win. I don't think the armor is 100% needed, but it does like make a completely foolproof. I've never lost doing this. Let's just, I don't know, clear some buffs. We kind of want these guys to die so that Sith Eternal counters, but I guess in Grand Arena you don't want to lose banners, so you know, you can keep summoning the brute if you want. It won't make that much of a difference, but yeah, Sith Eternal is gonna go into ultimate, and they're gonna keep doing their stuff. They're gonna try and get through, but they just can't. They can't, and they won't. Like, just like, look at this. They can't lay a finger on this dude. I mean, that was just so incredibly easy. So yeah, I don't know if 3v3 changes this that much, but I know that 3v3 for Leia, it's actually even easier because you can get the linked on oDrogan even if Leia outruns you, just because R2 and oDrogan will be stealth with me, which means you can link to stealth target. But yeah, no, that's how you do this counter.